Hi and welcome back to Christy's World for my existing subscribers. Hi for the new subscribers. I'm Christine from Christy's World. Welcome to this channel. So as most of my subscribers know, when I started this channel, I used to do a lot of poultry rearing videos last year, and actually they are my best performing videos. They're the videos that have the most views, and I'm grateful for that season. But I just wanted to do this short video to say that I will no longer be doing the poultry farming videos because of some of the reasons. So as I was saying, I enjoyed that season of shooting my poultry farming videos. They are actually some of the best performing videos on this channel, and I would say that most of my subscribers came to know or subscribe to this channel from those videos. And also, although I do other types of contents, which is the content that I'll be doing moving forward, I am grateful for that season, and I also learned a lot. I will no longer be doing those poultry farming videos, and I want to explain a little bit. So first of all, let me say that we no longer rear poultry. So no more farmhouse. There is no more farmhouse series in this channel. And some factors that we took into consideration and decided to postpone. It's still a passion, but we decided to postpone doing it entirely. We started the poultry farm 2020 around March or February, and we did it for like a year, slightly more than a year. Let me say 15 months or so, 12 to 15 months. And this was the plan was to the farmhouse was okay. The chicken multiplied, they started laying eggs, and all other factors constant, it's a viable project. Yeah, but there's some things that we realized we will not be able to do it well unless we change the whole, our lifestyle. So the chicken were at the farmhouse. At the farmhouse, there is no one there. The only person we had at the farmhouse was the caretaker. We employed someone to stay and take care of the chicken and the farmhouse. The place. Because we don't live there. So we used to visit on weekends. We would go and see how the place is doing. But on the downside, having someone else do a project for you, or maybe take care of your project, is a bad idea. So I discourage any form of mobile farming. Mobile farming is not practical. If you want to be a farmer, I would suggest that you become like a full-time farmer, or you free your schedule. That means that you're able to visit your farm. You're able to be at the farm most days of the week. Even if you're not there, let it be at least half of the time you're there, and half of the time maybe that's when you're doing other things. But if you can, you need to be there full time. In any kind of business, that's how it should be. Actually, if you ask most people who started their businesses, you'll know that for any kind of business, the owner needs to be there for at least the formation stages. If it's not entirely, at least the formation stages, and that will vary depending on the type of business. But the businesses that really thrive, the owner is hands-on. The owner is hands-on on the operations of that business. At the farm, there was someone, and actually there were several people who came. Some, you know how it happens with workers, like you have a worker, and then after some time they go. Some of them even find it so hard to do the work, to be there. They don't take care of the place. The chicken are super sensitive, so you find if your poultry falls sick and you're not there to monitor everything, if the person there is not responsible enough, one sick chicken can cause a whole can cause the sickness to spread to the other chicken. So chicken rearing is really, it's a sensitive, chickens are very sensitive, and they need someone who is there full-time monitoring and really committed to make the project, to help the project grow. So that is one of the main challenges that we faced. That is having someone responsible enough to stay there and do the work properly. That is one. And the second one, as I was trying to explain, was being ourselves, being there. We were not able to be there full time, or at least half of the time, to monitor and know what is going on. So we just used to visit, and sometimes we visit, maybe things are going wrong, but we try to maybe rectify. But during the weekdays we are not able to be at the farm. So it's just over time it was draining. Although it was a nice project, if anyone visited, they could see, it's a nice project, everything is nice, the goats, the chicken, the farmhouse is lively. But over time, the first year it was okay. The first month, maybe up to 8 months, and all the chicken, a good number of chicken were already laying, but then the laying stopped. So yeah, during the first 8 months, we started, if you followed my videos, we had even started collecting eggs and even selling. So there was hope, and we knew that even if 10, 20 chicken are laying, 30, 40, we just knew that now the chicken have started laying. For some few months they were laying, the number increased a bit by bit, and then at some point they stopped laying. We sought help, we sought some expert advice about the poultry rearing. We tried to, we got advice here and there. We tried to change the feeds, the style of feeding. If you followed those videos, we really tried. We tried to maneuver around the poultry farming thing, because it was also our first time. So we used to rely on, we would seek professional advice and then go and implement. We had even a vet who would come and check on the chicken regularly. Actually, it's so hard actually, to get some, I don't know, some real professional help. I don't know, because we had the first vet, the one that we started with, actually even he stole from us. That person even stole. Used to go and pick some chicken and go with them until now. And at some point, I think they even collaborated. The worker was there at that point. So even you'll find even the chicken, some of the chicken are missing. But let me tell you, it's so hard. This person, it actually took the big hens that were laying. And even at some point, the laying dropped, the number of eggs dropped, and then at some point it just stopped. So the mature ones which were laying, which were the bigger ones, the healthy ones, so this person used to collect, to pick them. The funny thing, I think they used to collaborate with the guy, the worker was there at that point, because when we changed the worker. The second one actually caught this vet carrying a chicken. And that's when now it dawned on us that this person was actually stealing. Let me tell you the funny thing, if you have 200 or maybe 200 chickens somewhere, it's very hard to tell if 3 disappear. You will go today and maybe 3 have disappeared. You will not be able to tell, unless if you always go there and take head count. But since you somehow you trust the person who is there, and you cannot every time go and start counting chicken. Chicken they are very hard even to count. So over time you don't realize, but over time now, if this person, if 2 chicken are stolen today, you will not realize. 198 out of 200, you may not know. The next day 3 go, so 5 are gone, just like that, until 20 are gone or 30. That's when the difference is noticeable. Some were laying, some are hatching into chicks. The chicks grow, they're transferred to the big house where the other bigger chicken are. So the numbers keep on, jumping here and there. You cannot really tell. So at some point, we decided to take a head count, and we counted all the chicken, and we realized, for sure we've lost a lot of chicken, considering the number that started and also the fact that we've been hatching more and more. So the numbers were not adding up. Even if we consider maybe 1 or 2, died. No, still we came to now realize that we've been losing a lot of chicken. So that is one main challenge. Finding people who you can rely on. People will not steal from you. People will just do their work perfectly. Finding that, honest people in this world, it's not easy. Finding honest people to work for you, I've come to realize it's tricky. It's tricky, and it's something you need to pray for if you're starting some kind of a project or a business. So yeah, we sought some professional advice here and there. If you follow my videos, you'll see we were trying some other forms of feeding, and even started buying the organic types of chicken feed. We tried our best, and this chicken they completely stopped laying, and we were at a limbo. And mark you, this is a place you have someone working, you've employed someone, and you're buying chicken feed and medication and paying the vet maybe to check on them. So you're doing all these things are costs, but they're not yielding the results. When you start a project, you don't expect to start yielding right away, but a year later, and it's not yielding, will actually drain you, because you're paying for all those services. You're paying, you're feeding, the chicken are feeding off you. The project is feeding off you a year later, and you've not gained anything from the project. Yeah, it was not just a hobby, it was a project that was meant to, after some time, as I was saying, in the first 8 months, we could see gradual growth, but the rest of the time, everything just went down, and there were chicken there. So we, at some point, we just started selling them for meat. The project was actually meant for eggs. It was we wanted to be selling the eggs, and we had hopes about that, and but it didn't work. So you're left with the question. One thing that we realized is that we cannot totally get, you can't have someone run things for you. You have to be there. This is the point where we had to make a decision, because the chicken were feeding off us and we were getting nothing. So we decided that for us to run such a project ever in the future, it will have to be at home where we live. It will have to be somewhere we can see, we can monitor the project on a daily basis, to know the pros, to know the cons, to know if things are going wrong. You can be able to see for yourself. You can be able to tell, if there are eggs laid or not, because if, let's say, you have, even if 20 eggs are laid today and you're not there, you may not know. If you don't have someone who is honest, you're relying on that person. If they're not honest, they'll maybe tell you 10 were laid, and so the person maybe sells the other 10. You may never, I'm not saying, I'm just giving examples of how you may think, when you're not there, there are things that you can't prove. So but when you're there, you'll see for yourself, and you'll be able to know now what to do. The last nail to this coffin happened when we lost about 200 chicken in a span of 2 months. So that was painful. We thought things are going bad, but somehow we had hopes of of correcting everything. We had two options. One, either change our lives, be where the project is, or stop the project and wait for that time when we can be near the project. That's when we made the decision that right now we are not able to move to where the project is, and so we decided to just pause the project, and bearing in mind the lessons that we've learned, we will do it at a later time when we are at where the project is. That will be easier for us, and okay, not really easy, but at least you'll be able to see the reality on the ground. So and that's when we decided to now what we do, we just looked for a market and sold the chicken, and then we took the goats and put them away. We didn't sell the goats. We just transferred them to Ushago. We took them to Ushago, and they are still there and continuing. But the goat project is not it's not as tricky as the chicken. So the chicken are the ones that we did away with. They were taken they were sold, and and we closed the place, the farmhouse. The structure is still there and everything, but no project that is going on there. I hope if someone started a project from maybe watching my videos, maybe this one is something you can learn and know the things, mistakes to avoid, or things to avoid when you decide to start that kind of a project. And if you're doing poultry farming right now, tell us how it's going for you, if there are some challenges that you faced, and if you've gone, if your story relates to mine, also tell us in the comments. You might help someone else. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.